All right, gentlemen, in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about dating apps versus cold approach. Now, the thing is with dating apps, it feels safe, right? And cold approach feels risky. But one thing you gentlemen need to understand that only one of them builds courage, leadership, and real world attraction. The kind that women actually feel when you're standing in front of them, not just a picture on the screen. And this is the pattern that I see with men. And the issues are that swiping replaces the action, so you become complacent. And then men start to rehearse confidence instead of expressing it. Rehearse means it becomes performative. It's something that it is not natural within you. It becomes an act instead of ingrained within your soul and your body. And your internal world becomes theory and not presence. You start to map out so many things in your head instead of expressing your body language. You become robotic because it's just another swipe, another date. And within the cold approach, these gentlemen are improving week by week because they are going out of their comfort zone and they're building what makes them scared. When you go out your comfort zone, you start to become a man who is fearless. Once you develop that fearlessness, it becomes a part of your nervous system regulation, which makes you more grounded to achieve what you want. Now, with the psychology within that, it becomes quite simple. So I'll break it down to you. This is what women respond to. They respond to initiative, courage, and embodied presence. You take the initiative, action, you have the courage, and you have the embodied presence of a man, which is the recipe for success. And the issue with dating apps, it removes all of that and kind of collapses men into a repeated pattern. And once you get too comfortable, you start to lose your presence as a man. So, with real world behavior, you create instant sub-communication advantage. You want to practice your sub-communication, your bodily behaviors, because that is super important, because then you develop high value behaviors as a man within your subcoms of how you stand, how you talk, your presence, your eye contact, your movement, which creates polarity. In this polarity, she can feel your aura and become attracted to you. So, initiative equals leadership, leadership equals attraction. All right, you guys get everything going on right now? So, we need to have reality over fantasy. And within attraction equals numbers. And you don't want it to be repetition. You don't want it to be hope. You want it to be a way where you become disciplined. So you want to build yourself through grit and through hardcore training. And you need to understand that when you get rejection, it's not an identity crisis. It is data collected points for you to build yourself, to refine your identity, to become stronger. So you do the reps, but don't dramatize the outcomes. Don't become outcome dependent. Remember, cold approach is a compound skill within calibration and opportunity, which builds who you are to shape a better, stronger version of you. But with apps, it's dopamine, you're waiting around, you're chilling, you become kind of an addict, swiping on the toilets, a crackhead, swiping all day, all night, blasting, burning your eyes, and just hoping for the next quick hookup, which kind of makes you needy, kind of makes you weak, because I've coached a lot of guys who kind of like to brag a lot about their app notch count, but in return, they couldn't handle the real world rejection, or they would get really upset or furious why they've gotten rejected because they're so used to apps being so quick and easy for them that it's a different world. But I've had successful men who transferred from apps to successfully have gotten good in cold approach, and they became really grounded men getting what they want. So remember, you don't have a real world advantage when you're doing the apps. So remember in this essence that when you do dating apps, it keeps man in fantasy. But when you do cold approach, it puts you back into the harsh reality of the world. And that reality is where the attraction becomes the compound effect to build who you are. And when you operate like this, your nervous system evolves and you become grounded, strong, and powerful. Doing the apps, it's going to reinforce dopamine without exposure. You need exposure to become stronger. And with that avoidance loop, your anxiety is going to increase more and more. With doing cold approach, you're going to rewire your threat response through grounded action, just pushing yourself, going further and further, becoming a leader and doing what you want to do. You be about that bullshit. So then that confidence becomes psychological, not theoretical. So your shift changes within your identity, becoming who you are. Within the apps, I hope I'm chosen. I hope she likes me. Is my profile good? With an approach, I move forward with my life. I go for what I want. And your identity within your core becomes a consumer to a creator. And your masculinity returns through repeated courageous action, building that grit, that resilience. You're going to zoom out your mindset to the cultural level of accepting the real world reality. Within the apps, within the marketplace, creates comparison and visibility, which is going to shatter your inner world and your worth because you're going up against the entire world. And also, real world presence breaks the script. You become different. You break the matrix. Women rarely ever meet grounded men anymore, so you're going to stand out like a deer in the headlights. She's going to be in awe of your grounded aura. So you need to take advantage and be the man who takes initiative in real life. And you want to integrate this mindset to understand that cold approach builds primary growth, the channel within the aura within you. Apps can be like a little side thing, but it's not your foundation. Take reps, go out there, work on your social skills, approach a few times per week, integrate that, build that muscle. And remember, you need to track the reps, the data, not the outcome. Oh, I didn't get no day. Oh, I got blown out all day. Why? No. Build who you are and become stronger within yourself as a man, developing that calm presence and leadership within grounded eye contact. So the bottom line today, gentlemen, I hope that you learned that dating apps let you avoid fear and cold approach forces you to grow. One keeps you passive, the other one builds present leadership and attraction that you can feel in the room. Salute.